In some places, this is the trail. It is all literally roots, but this is the trail or mud. This is the Quack Sista Park and a great place to camp. I'm probably not pronouncing it the native way. There's wolf at the bottom of the totem, and then the tail of orca with a face, and then the body of orca and the head of orca right there, and then raven at the top. Rat Bay Trail, 1 kilometer to the beach. Look at this beach. That is so beautiful and totally untracked. I love these nearly white sand beaches. It's beautiful. You would never guess how many hidden coves and beaches are out along this stretch here that are just not visible and that there's no trails to even get to. So let's take a look at the aerial photography because it's pretty freaking spectacular. Spence Bay has been absolutely phenomenal. So beautiful, man. And flying, getting that aerial photography over the coastline just makes me that much more optimistic about bringing my sea kayak out of along some of these coastal places. Because some of those little coves, you can leave the surf behind and duck in and have a pretty sheltered landing, you know? Pretty sheltered beach. You just can't see them, the coves, usually until you're right out in front of them. But some of them are narrow, you know? Kind of little openings into punch bowl coves and so forth. So yeah, pretty epic. Love it. Everywhere I look is just a natural wonder. Just have to take a moment to take in this forest. Look at it. It's like well, as they say, it's a temperate rainforest. Pretty phenomenal. Everything is for you, it's for you. I love it. I've always wanted to live in a boathouse right on the water. That is so cool. I like to cook outside, but cooking inside is definitely luxury. And right now it's kind of chilly. I'm kind of tired and don't want to be in the cold, so this is really a treat. Very nice. So yeah, I've got some leftover duck gravy, and just to stretch that, I threw in some broths and a couple eggs to soft boil, and that's dinner. Sounds pretty good to me right now. The weather was calling for gale force winds, which is 25 to 35 knot winds, which is roughly 25 to 35 mile per hour winds, and seas of 3 to 4 meters in the northern part of Vancouver Island. That was not weather for me in a kayak. And so yeah, I decided to head on down the road. I've had a great time up here near Cape Scott in the northern part of the island, and I want to head down near Strathcona and out to Nootka Island. There's sea wolves out there, the wolves that live coastally, and some old settlements that I heard are really cool to check out. A lot of history down there too, so a lot of wilderness, and just looking forward to that. The evening I came in, the roads were so dry and so dusty that every time a car passed, I would just be buried in this, it seemed like a mile of a long dust trail. And I was heading into the sun, so it was really blinding. And I mean, when another rig passed me, I couldn't see a thing. I just basically had to really slow down and sometimes even just stop and wait a little till the dust began to settle so I could see again, because that sun was so blinding. Since then, we've had a little bit of rain, and so it seems like it's either dust clouds or mud. So the roads are dusty or muddy. The Canadians definitely take good care of these roads, because they're going out to year-round communities like Holberg and Winter Harbor and others, and the roads are well marked, help people navigate, so you stay off of the actual logging roads and stay on the main roads that are heading to the parks or small communities and such. And I just saw a sign to Port Hardy, 50 more kilometers, so that's like roughly 6 miles to every 10 kilometers, so that's like roughly another 30 miles of dirt road to get to Port Hardy, and then you hit the pavement, and then I'll have self-service again. Ever since I left Port Hardy, left the phone signal behind too. Always, looking forward to roughing it, but also looking forward to the luxuries, of community life too. And Canadians have been really, really kind. I've been talking to a lot of people along the way, and the inevitable conversation between politics, between America and the rest of the world. Inevitably, those things come up. And the Canadians know that the average person doesn't want to see any conflicts between America and our Canadian neighbors, who have always been good neighbors. So, yeah, there's a lot of, there's definitely grieving around that on both sides. I've talked to Canadians who had planned trips to America that canceled them because they just didn't feel safe, coming down. And they're just like, why bother, Canada's really big, and we got all this beautiful land up here. Might as well just stay up here and spend our money up here, Down here, take a little look. Yeah, so it's been heartwarming to me to be so well received with politics being what they are. Because I definitely had some reservations coming up. I was like, are Canadians going to be pissed at me? I just took a little side road, and this came to the end of the road here, right at a beginning of an inlet, which could be a place to launch off. And in my kayak, they know, the average person, average American is a good person, good with a good heart, and really doesn't want to have any unnecessary conflicts. So it's been good in that way, meeting people and having that confirmation. Yeah, that's been cool. But I'm heading further down the road today. But it sure is beautiful. Co-op is awesome. They have Wi-Fi, and they're going to allow me to use their hose to wash down this muddy rig.